Everything looks good. Welcome everyone. My name is Seda Altan and I'm the director of Aurası Istanbul. For the ones who joined Cumartesi Aurası or Aura on Saturday conference for the first time, I'd like to give a little background on the Aurası Istanbul. The name Aura Istanbul stands for the Istanbul Architecture and Urbanism Research Academy. Aura Istanbul established in 2017 as a non-profit organization. The main focus of the academy is to be a think tank for young architects and designers with its certificate program. And in 4 years' time, our program became a bridge of experimentation and research. Aura on Saturday is an interdisciplinary conference series within the certification program of Aura Istanbul. It aims to create an environment of discussion, gathering, and exploration in architecture, urbanism, arts, technology, literature, and philosophy. You can visit Aura Istanbul's YouTube channel for more information. As part of the Arts and Architecture Dialogues performed by Hüseyin Yanar with special guests, today we are hosting artist Seppo Salminen. The talk between two professionals will focus on art and architecture, Hagia Sophia, body, materials, and memory. Last but not least, I'd like to thank our sponsor of this special event, Stoneline. Until today, they have made great contributions in many valuable ways. Now I will share with you, which I think it's a great idea, because it's an experiment about the relationship between natural stone and music. So I will, just in a couple of seconds, I will share with you a little video.
Stoneline, sanatın taş hali.
Beautiful stones.
Yes.
Yes, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce today's special guests. First, I'll start with Seppo Salminen.
Hey.
Yay!
Hey.
This will take a little while to listen to about your life.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
It's okay for me.
Seppo lives and works in Helsinki since his first solo exhibition at Vanhan Galleria in 1983. His practice has combined sculpture, installation, performances, videos, and photos. His works have been exhibited both in Finland and internationally. It's very hard for me to pronounce the name of the city, Hämeenlinna.
Quite good.
Good. Art Museum organized a retrospective exhibition of Salminen's works in 2008, and they are included in several collections. Museum of Contemporary Art, Kiasma, among others. In 2015, he received the Finnish Art Association's Art Book of the Year award for the book Moments of Seeing. In addition to his artistic practice, Seppo Salminen worked as a professor of time and space arts at the Academy of Fine Arts Helsinki between 1998 and 2011. In 2021, he was awarded the National Supplementary Artist Pension in 2021. When we come to Hüseyin Yanar, which is a great friend of Aura Istanbul for a very long time, He is a learner and a mentor as an architect, academic, and author between arts and architectures. He graduated with high honors from Istanbul State Academy of Fine Arts, which we know as MSGSU, where he taught as an assistant professor. He completed MPhil and a PhD thesis on rhythm in architecture. His journey at Oxford Brookes University started with his first thesis, where he spent 5 years of his career directing architectural design studios and lecturer. Following his Finland experience, where he joined the University of Aalto, Tampere, and Helsinki Fine Arts Academy, mentoring many arts and architecture students. In 2003 and 14, he was invited to Busangdong, or University of South Korea, as an associated professor. Yanar has numerous awards, jury memberships, talks, exhibitions, articles, and constructed and designed projects by his studio Orpheus North. His first book, Portraits, which has an introduction from Juhani Palasma, was published in 2011 in Finland and got one of the prizes of Most Beautiful Finnish Books 2011, attracted lots of interest. His second book, A Kingdom of Architecture, is in the publishing stage now. He has been teaching in a design studio of urban planning at the Faculty of Built Environment, Tampere University, Finland. So it is truly a great pleasure that we are able to have you as guests. Now I'd like to give the floor to our dear guests, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah. First of all, we can say that we are very sorry about what happened in a week ago in Istanbul. Both of us, our deep condolences with the victims and the loved ones of those. Very sorry for that. We are with you. Okay. Seppo, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to our Istanbul. We welcomed to our Istanbul, but
yes.
I also welcome to your home. Beautiful scenery behind
Yes.
the screen now, snowing, and almost everywhere is white. Christmas lights in one of the Seppo's tree, and some additional buildings, forest behind.
Yeah. We are in a way in the middle of Helsinki, but still there is forest.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. You can reach the forest in Helsinki very easily, everywhere full of trees and so on. First, in my part, I would like to tell about how we met. I was writing about artists and architects, and many years ago, and our common friend, Tarja Pitkänen-Walter, who is an artist, Finnish artist, said to me, please meet with Seppo. I am sure she told to Seppo, so please meet with this guy. And then we met together in a cafe.
Yes, in the Academy of Fine Arts.
Yes, in a cafe. And coffee is the best thing in the world.
Yes, we share that pleasure to drink together.
Yes, it was incredible meeting with someone whom I didn't know before. And my lifetime friendship began with Seppo. But you know, there are some people you speak, it goes deeply, it comes deeply, it goes deeply, it comes deeply, like kind of really incredible following the words, sentences. It happens like that. And then it took long time. I forgot the time, and Seppo forgot the time. He was teaching, he was the head of the Department of Time and Space department in Cumartesi Academia, Fine Arts Academy of Helsinki. First of all, I said in my home that I will meet with someone from the Time and Space department.
Yeah,
like.
But you know, it's very old academy. It's the only university level academy, fine arts academy in Finland.
Yes.
And it's there has been the normal departments like painting, sculpture, and printmaking. But at 60s, 70s, the outward changes, there were coming new meanings and things and like that. And there was coming also like photography, video, performances, environmental art, installations, that kind of thing. And we were thinking there that there must be a new department for that.
Yeah.
And Lauri Anttila, who was the professor at that time, was dealing with the idea. They tried to give us the name media, but we think it's too narrowing what we are doing. We were thinking that we are doing the things with handling time and space.
Yes.
And that's why we decided, or Lauri Anttila decided to give the name of Time and Space Department.
Yes.
And
fantastic name.
It is, but there's some nice things happening. For example, I was in China.
Yes.
Meeting their people, and I have a credit card, the card, and the card for
business card.
Business card. And in China there is the habit to give business card like this
with a ceremony. Yes, I know.
Yeah. And I was giving my card to one person who was also teaching their painting in China, and he was looking at Director of Time and Space. Mister, we have been waiting you thousands of years. And then he, everywhere he was saying, hey, there is a guy, the Director of Time and Space. And now we meet. And I said that our students are graduated to the Masters of Time and Space.
Yes. But you know, I met with the Lauri Anttila before you.
Okay.
Because he was the friend of Juhani Pallasmaa.
Yeah, they were very good friends.
And when I was showing to Pallasmaa, who am I and what am I doing? And says, please go to Lauri Anttila also. Your work goes to art and architecture. He gave all the address, but I didn't say that. Pallasmaa sent to me. To him, but we were almost beginning a studio there. We already began, but there was no students. The academy was in a different place at that time.
It has been changed this place.
And then when we came, and then we spent I don't know how many hours, because at that time mother of my younger son was calling to me. Hey, where are you? Where are you? Toivo is in the kindergarten. You promised that you would. I forgot Toivo there. It took maybe 3 hours. I don't remember. And then I forgot Toivo there. Toivo was alone there when I went. But anyway, in some point, our friendship, our kind of togetherness came that you said, why don't we teach?
Yes.
I said, yes, why don't teach? And then what we will do, when we set up the things in 3 hours there, and then we put the name of our studio Boundaries.
Yes.
But the boundaries was so important things that we were also looking for our boundaries. Because,
of course.
Because I come from the Finance Academy of Istanbul.
Yes.
This was my dream, to teach in Fine Arts Academy of Helsinki, but to artists, not to architects. I've been teaching all my life to architects. But to understand the artist mind was my challenge in a way. Who are they? What are they doing? Okay, we can judge many things by the pieces, but as a kind of understand them in a deep way. And then we had kind of amazing 2 years together. You know, we went over every boundaries actually, in terms of marks, in terms of pedagogy, in terms of the dialogue with the students, not to give them responsibility. We become like a coach. They begin to teach to each others.
Yes, it was very associative.
Unbelievable. And then in some point in the beginning, there was a catastrophic time for me. I have to tell this. Because the first time when we came together with the students after setting everything,
the tables.
The tables. No, tables is another thing. It was unbelievable. I talked in some cases there.
Okay.
But I was showing my things, my drawings. I did like this, like that. These are my projects, architecture projects. At that time, I was not entering the heart of art, actually.
Yes.
Of course, artistic way. I was taking photographs, doing the things. Artistic way was around still, but. And then I was showing my things, and then after that, you showed your things.
Yeah.
I said, my God, the naked body and putting himself to the corner of the room, and I went home. But this was my feeling. I said to Anna that it will not gonna work. I don't think any
but you haven't used to it. It was quite normal in a way.
Yes, but this is my thing that nobody will come there. Yes, students, because we had even architectural students there.
Yes,
one or two architectural students, some visitors from France or from different countries. In the first one, boundaries, and the second boundaries was a little bit different. We ended up in Istanbul there.
Yes,
we decided to go to Istanbul to catch the boundaries, real boundaries.
Yes,
and this is another thing. But when we came back after the second meeting, students were waiting us. They like our contribution, the first. And I said, okay. And but they also got a kind of feeling of our friendship. Some of them were asking, where did you meet? They were telling we meet in a cafe, and hours we spoke. And then we tried, but they felt very, how can I say, safe. And free.
Because we were also like searching the same things and taking up some questions that they were interested in, and we were interested in, try to understand each other's, and it was a kind of puzzle and conversation piece in a way.
Yes, conversation piece. Yes, that was very important. And then it was excellent 2 years of my career between art and architecture. It was a kind of transformative process. And then after that, I was writing about art and architecture. I began to make my art pieces. I said, okay, I can do. I'm of course, I have to work rest of my life to be kind of like artist. Comes from the artistic school, art school. But nothing impossible. I can go 1 little centimeter for myself and to make art for myself, not for anybody. And then in our course, we decided to go to Istanbul. In the end, but the pedagogical way, we said that, okay, we go to Istanbul, you do your projects, but teachers are doing their projects too. Seppo and me. We will do our own projects, not to support you, because to make projects, project is not good. Because project is the kind of engineering kind. You know what you do in the end. Anyway, another story. But we did our projects, our pieces there, let's say it like that. And then I will show you. I will show you one of the projects that I did. Some pieces you will see. I will not tell anything, but in the end, I will have 1 or 2 minutes cover up my part. Please, dear Seda. Yes. That was my work in our exhibition, Istanbul Stream and Bridges, with our students, with Seppo as teachers. We put our pieces there. In the beginning of Hagia Sophia, with students and Seppo entered, I begin to concentrate all these marbles, cracks, and so on. And Seppo went and he lost himself in Hagia Sophia. He will explain about that. We can speak later. But I would like to tell why I got affected from the cracks, traces, boundaries, lines of Hagia Sophia that I showed to you. I made this work, exhibited, as I told you, exhibited with the students and Seppo in our show in Helsinki, and I wrote 2 articles before the existing carpet there, and after the carpet too. If you write my name and Hagia Sophia, you will see 2 articles, but I will write the 3rd one. What I understood is that this ocean of marbles, map of marbles, gives a lifetime lecture, at least to me, about what is a perfectionist, to be a perfectionist or not to be perfectionist, to show the beauties of mistakes. I think it is a manifesto, actually, for the real life of education and how we behave, what we do there, to be free over the years after writing many articles, even being in many universities and designing some buildings. I understood that education has to be free with the mistakes, away from the projects and corrections like we do in architecture, and I can say further, away from the titles and any competitions. We try to do in our courses in some way together with Seppo. And now Seppo, and not to be complete, to be incomplete is the best thing in the world as a human being. And now I will introduce to you a master for that. Seppo, he will tell more about that.
Okay.
Floor is yours, Seppo,
thank you,
with a little introduction.
That was nice. Thank you, Hüseyin. Okay, can I get what is that, the picture number 15? Yeah, if you please. Yes, but I can tell when I was going to beginning to study art in the academy, it was year 77, and lots of things was going on in art and culture, and the kind of old hierarchies were melting down and new ones were beginning to come up, and it was also a very good time of punk rock and music, and I was a rebel kind of guy also at that time, not so much anymore, but but I was studying there in the academy painting and sculpture, and participating in the exhibitions in Helsinki with my paintings and some sculptures, and kind of working as a normal career for the artist. But then I succeeded a little there in the exhibitions, and they asked me to have the first own exhibition. And when I go and get my own first exhibition, I have had a kind of vision what to do. It wasn't paintings, not sculpture at all. I was first time.
Why not?
I was being out in the exhibitions in Kassel, Documenta, and I see their works of Joseph Beuys and Cunellis, and I became very fond of about Arte Povera movement, and I realized that materials have a kind of deeper meaning, and I in a way also like I hate the hierarchy of words and theories. I try to find a kind of what I should say, it's original immediate experience, and I was thinking that the materials and this kind of things from your own past will tell
from you,
to the spectators also. I was thinking that as deep you are going your personal history and things you have been faced there and bring them things up, it opens some new points also for the spectators.
And a dialogue kind of.
Yes, and it is something I was not in a way giving them some my idea, but open them to look at my works to going back their own experiences and ideas and things that. And at that time I was making first time that work which is this is from that Hämeenlinna exhibition. This is human hair, and I was covered the gallery totally with human hair. And it was quite an amazing thing to the owner of the gallery. When he came back, there wasn't any paintings, but it was it was full of hair, and then there was some iron blades, and there was a light gas. What is that? Gas was gas fire there in the middle of the blades in the gallery. It was smoky. There was hair and that kind of things, and I noticed it it was easier to give a kind of spatial experience and bodily experience. There wasn't any story. Nobody. I wasn't giving a kind of meaning to the people, but let them walk there and feel like without words the hair and what it means. And everybody has a kind of personal meaning for that. For me, those was like galaxies, or then also I was visited in the Auschwitz and see the piles of the hair of Jewish people that were cut off, and it was like there was a deep meaning of the sad history of Europe and people, and then there was a kind of energy and hope also in the hair, and dealing with this kind of things. I was somehow I choose not to do any more like pieces of art, and it is also like a little bit also political at that sense that I hate to sell anything, and dealing with this kind of selling and buying and being like
in a gallery.
And I was doing the things you can't sell. You can't, maybe somebody, okay, but still it was the kind of idea about giving a present to the spectator, and that was the first thing, and then I was trying to be as honest as you can be in a way, and then I was finding that to be honest I have to be myself there. There is not works doesn't in a way isn't enough. You have to be participating yourself there in the in the museum or gallery or wherever I was doing the things. Yeah.
And the hair is your mother is a hairdresser, haircutter, and this is your history also, very historical thing for you.
Yes, I was a very small boy. I come from the school. I go to my mother's barber shop, and look when she was cutting the hair of the men and shuffle them and put them in the basket. And it is something I was getting a feeling that the connection to when there were a pile of people and to get an idea about getting the connection of the people whose hair it was. And I want to show it in a way. And after that, I decided to become a part of the art piece myself. I was thinking that I was also like a material. I was like 80 kilograms of male human flesh connected with those materials. And it gives like a kind of scale also, because it was in the 70s, 80s, it wasn't anymore that speaking about put your works in the exhibition, but you have to knowledge the space where you were putting it. And the space was coming the very important factor in the showing the things. And there was beginning the idea of installation, that it is not one piece or something like painting or sculpture, but it was kind of whole experience, bodily experienced space. And it is a kind of dramaturgy in that space. And you were like a musician or composer, but you were composing the space, giving a kind of materials and things the meaning and leave it like so open that everybody who doesn't in a way understand in the metaphorically the materials, they have still a deep personal meaning, because they are things you normally meet as in Art Povera movement. You take the cheap materials, everyday materials, you are using them, not like marble, gold, and bronze and this kind of things, but something you are seeing in everyday life in your backyard and at your home, and this kind of things which you can give a personal meaning for those things, and lighten up and meet people by dealing with this kind of things.
Yes. In front of this, there was a kind of frozen platform. You combine you and frozen platform and this hair. Stripes of hair, like 5 meters long, huge stripe.
But you can show the number 25.
Yeah. Now, why I pointed out that? Okay, you didn't put it as kind of hair only. But you put yourself, like think about the kind of circles that you go to your own history very strongly, like you become kind of art. In a way, like
that was a project that also like there was a Joseph when I was studying Joseph Beuys' works, and there was one sentence which was wakes me up. There was a sentence, "Zeige deine Wunde," show your own wounds. And I was thinking that the meaning of artist is something you have to show your own wounds, and being like a very honest,
intimate side.
Very that deepest side in a way. But it is very difficult also to transfer to the visual arts. And that is the thing. And this is the one thing I was doing next. This is a iron plate, and there is 25 degrees of cold in the other side. It is like ice there. And I had wet clothes on me, and I go to the ice and stay there, and I freeze myself into it, and you can't get.
You get pain there.
Yeah, it is a real feeling in the body, and I was also understanding that the feeling of body can be shared also by the spectators.
Yes.
And I was lying there, and this work the name was that Miracle of the Snow, or At My Father's Grave, because it was.
You have a strong connection with your father.
Yes,
yes,
and his history. He was wounded in the Second World War, and there was a story about the kind of being a war invalid, and I was meeting those people who were suffering
in the sauna.
Yes, that was a very. I was 6 years old, and the first time I go to the sauna, that was a kind of place where the war invalids has been built for themselves after Second World War. There was like cottages and of course the sauna. And I was a 6-year young boy, and I was sitting there in the sauna benches, like in hammam, but there was coming guys, and all of them have lost something of them. They have lost their arms or legs, or they've been blinded, and there were scars everywhere. And I was sitting there and looking at them. I was saying, the meaning to be a man is to lose something in your body, get something. Get scars,
like incompleteness.
Yes, it is the incompleteness, and also the historical pictures of Jesus Christ. It is also the story about big story behind of the Western culture, that you have to be completed by giving something in your body. And after that, I was a very long time thinking that the meaning of male body is to be mutilated somehow, to be like getting scars or something like that, and you are not completed without doing that. Yes. And that was the part I was doing my art also for them. I take the body and the kind of violent or painful experiences also in the work.
You have some examples like that?
What we want to...
like, you choose.
Yes. For example, 43A. No, not that one. 43A. That one. Yes. That was. This is
in your studio.
Yeah, this is my studio in the downstairs. This is exercises in a cellar. The work. This is not 5 years ago. I was doing an exhibition, and I was doing some so-called exercises and trying to find a kind of picture about getting the feeling and idea to be in a way. It is part of also like being depressed or really pressed against in a corner. But this was the one way of studying the possibilities of space and body and this kind of things and materials and I was using it in a way also like getting even of those ideas that the older men or something. I try to do my best by doing it by art, also like criticizing the need to sacrifice young people and boys again in Ukraine and make nameless bodies there and you have this is a kind of critical idea of what is the history of male body,
Yes.
how it is being represented in a way, and how to become a hero or what it needs to be like.
Questioning many things.
Yes, yeah. There is that 43B also. Yeah, this is one. There were long-lasting things. I was also in. This is something. This is like a kind of shell, and I'm connected in it and against the wall. And I was there until the candles were lit down and it becomes completely dark. Yeah, and
it's a kind of performative thing also. You are in a stage. And with your body, you turn back to the audience.
Yeah.
In some cases, you're other way around also with your clothes. In here, you are captured by the guillotine. Like captured by the wood and some elements, and you are prison there.
This is somehow. It is a kind of what I should say position. Position. Yeah, where you are in a kind of. You get in a kind of mental position to do. This is not a meditating, but something that you are using your body as a material for the art piece in a way.
But you are staying. You are staying there, doing nothing.
Yes, that's important.
Very important. Very minimalistic in some way. When I was writing an article about you in my this book that it will come out soon, I hope, and I will read later. But the minimalism of minimalism, kind of.
First, I was moving in my performances, but nowadays they are like still. I'm part of the sculpture in a way. It is a kind of not moving or something. John Gates was saying that I have nothing to say and I'm saying it. It is the same kind of dilemma to be like that doing emptiness.
Doing nothing, but you do a lot.
Yes, that's it. I have nothing to say, and I'm saying it.
Yes.
Yeah. He said, what is it? Maybe I also go to the Hagia Sophia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell that we entered there, and then you disappeared. You went somewhere else, and then I was taking the photos because all these walls and stones, everything is gone. Like whole Hagia Sophia is gone. Like, can you believe the first time it happens to me? I go a lot there when I go to Istanbul. But this time disappeared. Like the cracks, all this Finnish scale that we go to on the ice, and ice is cracking like this. Suddenly, whole floor became like crack, like that. I was taking photos, like cities were there, streets were there. In a Borges came this, what was the Forking Parts?
Forking Parts.
Book in his hands, and the kind of fictional thing happened. I wrote about that. But you went kind of, I begin to look forward to you. Where is Seppo? And then I found you in the corner. And then you said to me, take my photo. I took these two photos for you.
This is 35. This is also good.
Yes, this was one of the pieces of Seppo in our exhibition.
Yeah, this was some kind of Byzantine structure in one wall painting there, also in the clothes of a priest or somebody, and this was the two positions, and this was also like about the scale, because when you come in, you are overwhelmed about the cube and everything, the measures and the echoes and the human beings who are vanishing there when they go in the other side. And this was my maybe 5th or 6th time I was visiting in Hagia Sophia. Every time I would go there when I visit Istanbul.
Yes.
And I try to find like a place for human scale, kind of.
Because it's so huge,
Yeah, it
incredible
is.
huge,
Yeah,
very
yes.
cardinal volume. And
yeah. And I noticed those places and I went there, and then I came to you and said that, Hüseyin, now I find the place, can you take pictures? and yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is also like this is a kind of I have black clothes, that is like a common man in a way.
Yes.
The idea of common
man.
Who is standing there to try to find the meaning in a way. You are anxiously try to find the meaning about what is this, but you can't look around because it's so huge and it's like vanishing for you when you are reaching.
Masterpiece. Big masterpiece. Big master.
Yeah, and you are try to reach there, but you get the feeling that it vanishes. It goes away all the time. Every time I go there, I remember it in a different way. Every time. The details and the whole space in somehow it depends about my own feeling and the age and something which has been happened, but the space itself is a kind of time capsule. It is something. It speaks very personally to you because also like you have your own Hagia Sophia history that you have been there in different moments. For example, when I get married, my mother gave my wife and me to the present to go to some trip, and I said we go to Istanbul.
Yes, you went to Yeni Kapı, one of the restaurants, and then you ended up with the owner of the restaurant.
Yes,
and the daughter or relative of it, and until morning you were together with them.
We were all the restaurants going around Istanbul, which they own, the family and the relatives and things. Yeah.
Very nice.
But he was thinking we were speaking Finnish, and there was the Aki Kaurismäki, the Finnish filmmaker. He was making the move Zombie and the Ghost Train.
Yes.
And they were.
We were watching with the students.
Yes.
In our course.
And the crowd of the movie, the people who were making the movie were visiting all the time that restaurant.
Yes.
Because the idea is how many Ös there is in the name of restaurant. The better place it was, Aki said to that you have at this restaurant have 5 Ö.
5 Ö.
Yeah.
It's very special.
Yeah. And
in
when
Finnish
when I came go in there, they noticed that I was speaking Finnish. They said, "Oh, let's drink raki. You are from Finland." And he said that you don't use any water in raki in Finland. I said, "No, we have our own specialties." And then he gave me the raki glass and my wife, and it was full of raki, and we were drinking that. And then the guy said, "Oh, this is good. I closed my restaurant and let's go to my cousin's restaurant. It's here neighbor." And but that's a different story. But
it's a very nice. But what you were telling here, this huge, very big masterpiece.
Yes.
And you try to find corner there, not only to find a corner, but to find yourself there.
Yeah, but it's
in
also
a way like you.
Yeah, but it's also like the criticism also against the spectacle.
Yes. Yes, that is the most important thing,
yes,
actually, also.
And in a way to put it in the human scale. That's my idea in the art. That's why I'm using the human scale also. And very understandable way of using the body. And it is not so, and the scale was so huge that I was thinking that I have to diminish it, put it smaller. The scale had to move. And in the also in the architecture nowadays, also I try to find the scale for human being there inside, because now it's the wow things and some kind of spectacular things which are made for camera. Not many of them are not made for the body.
Yes.
And the body experience and the space. It is something to be looked at, not the field at. It is something there is not so many architectural places nowadays. I have been feeling that same bodily experience that in those old churches and mosques and things which are like they are always like thinking it in the human scale. Even they have been doing it like a vast and big monuments, but still you can feel the human scale inside.
And the body. And
body,
Yeah, that was your Hagia Sophia.
Yeah, that was that.
One of the pieces.
Yes.
And you had 2 photographs there, and we showed it. Yeah.
But okay, 28 number. Yes, this is my wife and me. This is called Still Life, and this is a little bit. I get my professorship at that time when I do this, and I was noticed before that I was like a rebellious artist, but now I have a work. I get money.
You have to be a good guy.
I bought a home, and something I was understanding that still life. Are we still life? Am I still life? Have we become like a kind of design or something like interior or our house?
Yes.
This is also that we are like being part of that bourgeois middle class life, and I was in a way a little bit worrying that what it can do to me to accept that professorship in the academy.
Yes.
You know, of course it.
You are fighting with yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Because
the fame
I was seeing
and
myself,
the rank and
yeah. I was seeing myself. Now I'm voluntary. Put myself in a prison in a way.
To academy.
Yes, and in a home in a way, being like an bourgeois middle class, being driving with Volvo and doing that kind of thing, get the salary and
yes.
Because it was a kind of motor to for myself to be handling very difficult questions and things, and now I'm walking up as a normal guy in a way, going work and these kind of things. And this was the. You can also show the 29. Yeah, that this is also. This was
your wife.
Yeah, this is kind of discussions. This was a kind of performance we were doing, that we were drawing those faces to each other. You can take that paper away and make a new face for, and this was a kind of old couple sitting there and nothing special.
Nothing to say anymore.
It is something that everything is good. This is how we are now, and this was a kind of I try to look at. Turn the mirror to myself again, but to how society reflects from me and the needs from the society. And because I was coming from the quite poor family, working class family, and get to the first. Everybody was what I'm going to do when I said that I'm going to be an artist and that kind of thing. They said no. But I sell a television at home during my father and mother were in the summer holiday, and buy a ticket to Paris.
Yes, yes.
And I ran away there.
You met with the artist on the boat, riverside.
Yes, yeah.
And you sold everything and you went there in the age of 17.
Yes, yeah,
17.
Yeah, I should be in the high school.
Yeah.
But I noticed that the surrealism is not art movement, it's a way of life. And you have to go there. And I go to Paris and... the
atelier of the artist.
Yes. They give me atelier, room there to work. Because when I go there, I knock on the door and the artists were coming. Oh, they didn't remember me, that we were meeting in Helsinki. They gave me the address and said to drop by if you are in Paris, but it was only 1 month, and I was there behind their door, and they look what we can do. This crazy guy has been coming here, and then they said to me that can you make a breakfast? I said, of course I can. Here is money. There is money. Go to the shop and buy, and we are testing you. And I go there and buy croissants, red wine, and cheese, and some groceries and these kind of things, and go there and make a breakfast and make coffee, and they taste it and said, okay, you can stay here, but every morning you go to the shop and make a breakfast for us. That's why they give me a studio there. And
I remember you made the expressionist painting.
Yes, there. That was the time I was painting still.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. Yes, but it changes very much. This is, I want to, so maybe this 21.
This is also very meaningful as a minimalist. Minimalist of minimalism. Kind of.
This was, I was asked to Germany to participate in one exhibition which was handling water. It was in München and in Gelsenkirchen, and they give, it was a kind of site-specific art exhibition, and I was given to one park, and I was saying that can I use those trees there, and I was connected the trees with tiny water tubes and the branches with the water tube, and there was like 10 of those trees which were crying.
Yes,
it was the idea that the water is dropping there down, and there were loudspeakers in the trees, and they were like crying. They were crying. The trees were crying, and they were the water was dropping to those plates.
Yes,
and white plates, and having some music that it was like dip, 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 dip,
yes,
and I was announced in the newspaper that if you have some sorrows, you can come here and cry with the trees. And there were coming people, they were sitting under the tree, and the trees were crying, and the people were handling their sorrows, and there were many of people there sitting, and it was a kind of sorrow, giving the possibility to go deep in their minds. And one other guy was coming to me asking, are you an artist who has done this? I said, yes, I've done it. Yeah, my wife died yesterday, and I decided to come here, and he was sitting there, and it was nice,
touching.
Yeah.
Sharing of the grief and pain and so
on. Number 19.
Yes.
Okay, this was in Lublin, Poland, Lublin. Yes, this work was named Transparent Presence.
How many minutes it took this performance?
No, it was planned to be half an hour because there is those glass plates and I was pressed between those glasses. And it is something that
there are some glasses that maybe people who are watching this can get attention, because there are some really glasses that is presses to you by those clamps.
Yes, and I plan to be there like half an hour because the blood circulation is stopping, and and it is quite painful to be in that position, and I'm going to like getting some
difficulty.
And what is that? I was grumbling a little bit, and then the people, the audience were coming and opened those clamps, and I was very angry because they were ruining my work. But I have
also participation of the public.
It was public participation. I have done it in several countries, and everywhere people are coming and
helping to you.
Yeah, open this. Only place they didn't open me was in Russia, in Lenin, in St. Petersburg. Yeah,
they understood that you are doing art.
Yeah, they understood that you choose it yourself. Let's be there. Yeah, it's your own fault.
There is a kind of feeling of nakedness to be without anything.
It's the sort of thing that if you put something on, you have a kind of sign of meaning of the clothes. You have to be very careful what you are, because you are carrying, the clothes are carrying meaning. And this is the most easiest way to show your body, to not put nothing on, because it's only the body. And the idea of being honest was here also, that I'm not playing anything or showing anything in a way like in a theater. I have no role to show. I only show the human body in a pain, in a way, and it is so simple then and that. And in this this idea, I was getting the idea about this is also like a little bit, I said, in transparent presence. It is something that you can't be seen in a way. It is like also like a little bit depressive idea that you are nothing in a way. Everybody is looking through you. You are there, but you are not really present. You are transparent, invisible in a way. And when the body is beginning to suffer, you are coming to be visible again in a way. And it is also that some kind of when animals getting in a stress, they have three ways of doing something. They are attacking, or running away, or freezing. And this is the kind of idea of in that moment you are like freezed and you can't do anything anymore. It is something you are stop doing anything else but being a human body. And that's a kind of,
you are not sorry, you are not moving, you are again like still.
Yeah, this is a kind of make it as easy as you can in a way. Keep it simple and stupid. It's a very good. And this is the one I want to show. This is number 11. This name was a Moon Watcher. I was made it at the first time in Taipei, Taiwan. I was visiting there in the museum and see there the old ink paintings, the Chinese ink paintings, and they always try to make a round moon or sun with the brush and ink. And it was in the master idea to make a perfect round, and they were looking the moon or sun and do it. And I decided also to do that. This is milk in behind under my feet, and this is ink which is dropping from my clouds to that round circle. And it comes from the white to the black. It takes that time, like in 1 month. In 1 month, this is a full moon, and then it's a black moon. And it takes several hours to get this turning to black.
Yes.
Yeah, and my clouds are full of ink that is dropping there, and maybe the next one, the 12. Yes, and there is my moon in the wall. It is also a plate, and and then number 13. That one, this is coming, and the moon is vanishing. It is, and then 14. Yeah.
And then a painting here.
Yeah, it is a kind of trace and memory about the time, and it is a kind of idea also to be present and showing the experienced or perceiving the moon, and goes through you, and you are moving, changing it to a painting. It is a kind of artist dilemma to perceive and then transform it in something else. And that's a kind of mechanism can be seen in this work.
Again, you are not criticizing, but facing with yourself.
Yes.
Analyzing yourself. What's going on.
Yes, and the idea of perception also, that how it artist work, you perceive things and then you change it by your personal history and your identity. It goes through you, and the perception is changing to something which is called art piece or something like that.
Yes. And please tell, without forgetting, because in a very big hall you made this installation, and I was there. In
Helsinki, Kunsthalle.
And you were there. And we were watching all the process. But what happened after that? Another day.
That was the thing, that the cleaning woman came there and cleans the work away, because and the museum chief was very, very upset about that, and he was phoning me. Now there has been a mistake that they have been cleaning it away.
Your piece.
My piece away there, and it should be like 1 month. I said, okay, it should be do like that, and then it is vanishing art, and that's the meaning of that. And, don't be worried about. I can.
But it published in Helsinki Sanomat.
There was a big discussion about that. That there were how expensive it was and how much they have to pay to and everything, and is it art if the cleaning woman doesn't understand it is art? This is nice. I was now we are in the arte povera meaning. The human scale is now in the place I wanted to be. Like we are discussing about that very very deep meaning about how we can find which is art and which is not. That was very clarifying to me also at that moment.
Yes, it's a very good final.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to try to do the work nowadays as minimal as possible. And there is one thing I want to show also, where it is. This is that 43. 43.
This was in sculpture, the other one, sculpture gallery, the previous one. Yes,
This
yes.
is not.
But you want something else, yes.
That. It should be that 43.3. It is something like that.
Not this one.
No, that one. Yeah. It was.
This Hertonemer Ranta, that was.
Yeah. This was a work. Its name is Self-Portrait with Unknown. And this unknown is a human remains or a skeleton of that. This skeleton was used in the Academy of Fine Arts from the 20s until this day as a teaching of drawing the skeleton and human being
in Fine Arts Academy.
Fine Arts Academy.
Yeah.
And nobody didn't know whose skeleton that was. And there has been rumors that it has been a prisoner skeleton or somebody who was died in a civil war or something, but nobody knows it. But almost all the Finnish artists has been drawing with that unknown and being with that.
He's touching, he is touching, or he was touching to many people.
Yes. And I wanted to do a kind of piece with him, that self-portrait with him. There was also the magnetophone were telling about the story. It was a kind of poetic thing which was telling some things about my past and this was and the guy I try to also give him or the skeleton possibilities to face art and being part of art and being my friend in a way, because it is a little bit broken and they think that they can throw it away.
Yes.
And I said, no, give it to me. I can fix it, and I have to use it. And now I have getting a DNA analysis about the skeleton.
Yes.
And we try to find the origins of that
original
who he is.
Okay.
Yes, and then we can bury him in a real place back in the and now it is in a project to do that thing. That is, then there is the last one, where is the skeleton also? There is no number, there is 609 or something.
It's with the skeleton behind.
Yeah.
Behind of Seppo.
It is in my back. No, the next one, I think so. This one, yeah. This is, I was thinking that he has been in the academy but he hasn't seen so much art. And I was taking him to one of my friends' exhibition. It was the time of COVID. And I gave the name of that the visitor. There is a visitor in the exhibition, and we have nobody in a way. Don't forget that.
You selected very specific piece to show him.
Yes,
like kind of target. Like
yeah. We were standing there like 6 hours.
Together,
yes,
like that.
Yeah. I was part of.
Yes, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
6 hours you were there.
Yeah, we were looking at that painting of my friend
without moving.
Yeah. It was that. Okay, but
did we cover?
I can.
Maybe we can just go through. Maybe.
Do we want to? This is one.
Yes, this is from
37.
Yes, that is Seppo's second piece in our exhibition. We were having coffee together.
Yes, this was
It's in my home now. It's a kind of conversation with Hüseyin Yanar. 2012 maybe.
Yeah, we were going around Istanbul and stopped by to take some coffees and discuss about things. And I was fancied about those lines which are staying in the coffee cup. There is a kind of time lapse can be seen in the coffee than when you have been drinking and stopped drinking, and there was a stripe around the coffee cup inside.
Yes.
And there comes a kind of conversation which can be seen on a coffee cup. And I take your coffee cup and my coffee cup, and there was the kind of changes and when we were drinking and when we were not drinking coffee, and this was a kind of conversation with Yanar.
One question: did you make plan that you will make a piece for that?
No.
Just
I was first time we
were always taking the photos.
But it was the first time when we were drinking. I was understanding that there is a kind of theology about history. It can be seen in that cup.
Yes.
And the time is seen by those stripes inside the coffee stripes inside of that. And I was taking the first and then the second one, and then I was thinking that I can use this somewhere. I can. So this is like some kind of very personal, low profit geology, like human beings meeting themselves, and you can see the time like in how they have been meeting and how much they have been lasting, and this kind of ideas.
I think this was the symbol of our being in Istanbul too. Because we were telling to students that, okay, you work, you find your whatever you will find, and then we will make a workshop 5 o'clock every day on the top of our hotel. We were seeing whole Kabataş and Üsküdar and old Istanbul. And but in the daytime we were always getting coffee when we go Heybeliada, for example. Heybeli Island, Kadıköy, around old Istanbul, or many places we found. For example, we went to Sahaf. Sahaf. We say the old book place, and then we sat down there. Some hours we were talking again, but we were speaking about life, our studio, and everything. And one day I remember we were going out of Hagia Sophia, and we went to Fatih Mosque. And then after that we went to Süleymaniye. And then we ended up Kora. Before Kora, maybe after
that was one of my main targets at that time.
Yes, and now because you were telling that you would like to have haircut in Istanbul, we were looking the best haircut for you,
the
oldest haircut. Just in the corner of Karye Museum at that time, museum. Now it's the mosque, Kora Museum. We found a place for you, the barber shop. And it was amazing to watch to you and to record somehow. And the guy made an amazing performance for you. In many senses, like with the towels and with the fire and
all the treatment.
The treatment. It was very nice. But the coffee cups were kind of symbol of connection of what we were all doing there with the students and with you and so on.
And you can use kind of like everyday things to helping you understand the things also. I can tell you, I haven't tell you when we had a kind of international student meeting and workshop in Istanbul it was something like 95 or something. And there was from Germany, from United States, it was Istanbul Biennale at that time, and Norway, Sweden, and I think so. There was also from Serbia.
We didn't meet.
No.
That.
Yeah, it was that in the Istiklal there was the soccer, or what was the name of the museum at that time? There was
the Salt.
Yeah, there. Yeah, there it happens also.
A lot of exhibitions.
And
activities.
And every professor get 5 students.
Yes.
And for me, there was coming like 3 students from United States and 1 German and 1 Norwegian. 3 girls and 2 boys. And they were afraid because they haven't been in Istanbul. I said that there is nothing to be afraid to here, and let's go and feel the city. But they were
city will tell you what you do.
Yes, but then I noticed I was thinking, and now I have to break the
ice.
Yes, and they move what the fences, and we go to the covered market.
Yes.
And I bought 5 of the 6 shoe polish.
Yeah, polishing kits.
Yeah, and I give everybody for me also.
Yeah.
And we go there outside of the in one place and put our shoe polish kits there and sit down and waiting for and polishing the shoes and so
that was the project.
That was the idea, to be like friends and sitting down there and not looking upside.
And to be like Istanbulian. And,
really, and don't look like up to down, but being like in a modest way of coming to Istanbul and serve the inhabitants.
Yes.
Make a serving thing.
Yes,
and
be humble and
serve. And what can I do for you? And maybe I can polish your shoes.
Yes.
And it was nice, but they were always criticizing how badly we were doing. But they were also like very thankful. But there was a queue of people, especially for the girls. But that was the nice thing. And after that, they were like open and they could go there, and it wasn't. That was a kind of
very nice project.
Yeah, but it was the easy way though.
Yeah, do we have any image that you would like to show? Because there are lots of them.
I think we have. In a way, we have in a way looked at most of them, which I would do. What do you want to? If I show you,
I would like to read some of the pieces here for you that I wrote in my piece.
Okay.
How I will find what I wrote for you. His body became an indispensable instrument which he used for his art and created through his art, and he established a dialogue with it for the sake of his art. Ultimately, his art and body became fused, a single entity. He had found himself and in the process created his own private place, art and self. Towards the end, I also wrote something like that. Most of his works involving motionless performance entail embedded interpretations. As if by not doing anything, he is actually doing quite a lot, including silently elucidating the workings of inner realms. It's akin to the state of being in the middle of crowds of people in a gallery, in the nature, in a corner of his home, in short, in his own space. A state of hyperbolical abstraction of the figurative, the minimalism of saying more by saying nothing, of doing more by not moving at all, In other words, it is the art of remaining still, of motionlessness, of the traces of the man who performs the art of stillness that follows one after the other.
Yes.
I wrote two pieces that I wanted to read them.
Yeah.
Okay, and now this is Seppo's part.
Yeah.
If you don't want,
that's
it's all right.
Yeah. That's
and we can ask some questions. Do we have time? Can we ask some questions to each other?
Yes.
What is the situation?
We have enough time. We can go on.
Okay. Okay, Seppo. Now we will ask questions to each other.
Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, please.
Or
please,
if you would like
ask, yeah.
Okay, now the very important thing. In our course, I have two questions in my mind as a first question, but maybe the second one, I have to take this. I know that you are an Istanbul lover.
Yes.
And I know that Hagia Sophia is important for you too.
Yeah.
But I would like to tell, otherwise I will forget.
Yeah.
What I was showing to you, I dedicated my work that I showed to audience here to my great friend and teacher, Muammer Onat.
Okay.
He was my teacher and Professor Muammer Onat from the Fine Arts Academy of Istanbul. And the piece that the music was from Şükrü Tunar, 1925, Istanbul 1925. I took it from that CD. Okay. What is the meaning of Istanbul for you as a person, as an artist? What do you think about that? What is the meaning of Istanbul as an artist and as a person? How do you feel about that? And connected Hagia Sophia, because Hagia Sophia is the heart of the city.
This is one of the very few places where you are very first, when you enter the city, you are feeling yourself as a body. It is reflection. The city is some kind of maze, but you are somehow, as I said, there are two cities which are my favorite cities: Venice and Istanbul. I've lived in Venice quite a long time, and Istanbul. You are always get lost there. Somehow you are finding new places all the time. You are very easily getting part of that kind of what is that? There is no, in a way, reason or order in that old city and outside of the city, and you are like noticing yourself all the time, like being part of something bigger, which is giving the gifts for you. There is so much seeing in every corner. If you are looking, wherever you are looking, there is coming to be like exposes to you, and you can feel yourself like being amongst the friends in a way. It is something very familiar. I don't know why it's familiar. I have been reading about so much about history and writers,
Dark Angel.
Writers about Turkish writers and
Orhan Pamuk,
for example, but and try to understand that the kind of growing from the history and seeing the history at the same time. It is something it is kind of seeing through. You can see every time lapses going through. You can walk like in the old maze or place which is always giving you something back. It is like a bodily experienced place. It is not like, it's not organized, it is unorganized, it is,
but it has a rule, it's its own rule.
It's living its own, it has been created by itself.
Yes.
It is, the time has been created, the people who has been living there, it is a creation of human beings.
Yes.
In a way, there is no like bigger idea in a way which has been, the people have taken their own possibilities to and of course there has been that old East Rome time, the Byzantium time, which is I'm very fond of, about the mosaics and how they are showing the pictures by doing this kind of flat mosaic paintings and
with the pieces.
Yes, and the time is it is a time machine in a way.
Time machine.
Yeah.
How about Hagia Sophia? Hagia Sophia.
As I said, it is the biggest place when you can understand your body. In a way, you can feel your body and being like, as I said, to get overwhelmed.
Yes. In
a way, you are like feeling so big things inside of it. And it is, as I said to you, that now when this is snowing, there's not enough snow, but in Finland, when there is lots of snow during the winter, as we were children, we shuffle in the snow piles.
Yes.
Kind of, we say them snow castles.
Yes.
But there was like igloos. And every children from 3 years or something, they would shuffle themselves their own space in that silent igloo, snow igloo, and it is something. This is the kind of very huge igloo. I get the same feeling, the kind of peace and in the way holiness in Hagia Sophia and around things as in those little snow castles where we were in the very young. Every winter we do it and go there and being in peace and that's something which is so familiar in a way.
Very nice, very nice. In this exercises that we did there, for example, your case and my case, we were strange kind of, because you were going there and I was looking to the floor and everything was disappearing, kind of really cracks, mistakes, all these things attracted me a lot. You find yourself, like you described very nicely, the igloo, and you find their own space.
Yes.
I think this is the magical thing, that you find your own space. In this education also, we don't consider this a lot. We don't consider not a lot, but not in an average level, even the own space, because we make the students like stereotypic with the targets and competitions and so on. But this own space is so important. Even they will not achieve like what we wanted them to see, but their own steps, own igloo, own part is so important. Yes, that's okay. Will you ask to me a question?
I was thinking that how much you can add your personal history if you are as an architect. Is there any possibilities in a way, and how you can show in a way your personal background, or the materials or things, are they reflecting somehow for your person, or are they just chosen ones for the serving the practice, or
There are millions different architects, but I understand what you mean because your body, you are a part of the art.
Yeah.
You're painting with your body. You are painting with your body. You are like putting yourself in the middle of everybody.
Yeah.
And you try to make your own space.
Yes.
Really, believe me, all the rest of my life until now, I tried to find my own space. I don't believe architecture can be defined as a kind of like making buildings. Because these catastrophic days of the world, I think the duty of architectural schools must be not to build like we were building. On the contrary, make the other things to heal the space, to understand the space, maybe to teach dreams in the schools, not to teach making the project, making the corrections all the time. Because we have two, for my opinion, I can say privately, when people also can hear, we have two obstacles, big obstacles to make projects and to correct them.
Okay.
In the education,
yes.
To make projects.
Yes.
You know, if we take of them from the architectural education, I mean, people might say, colleagues might say, so what we have left?
Yes. Yeah.
But we have left a lot. Because if you begin a project, the notion of project, you have a target to make a project and then bring it and make it live.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4 cities. Go to Istanbul with the plane. You will see how dense and like we don't have a place to breathe anymore.
Yes.
And this is one of the biggest dirt that we are doing to the world under canalizations. Many things. Hierarchic, all this richness, money, and offices,
spectacles.
And of course, you said very nice the wow things. Why one guy doesn't make very humble like you are doing in your art? You gave all your life for this being in your own space, not fancy making big projects, big paintings or whatever, and get money and be rich more. In architecture, I try to do the same thing because we had an office earlier. I have an office still, studio still, but I don't believe that buildings will save the world. But few buildings I like in Finland and in abroad too, in Turkey too. But this is my point. I try to face to face like yourself. Who am I?
Yes.
What I will do when I grow up. What I will do in front of students when I grow up.
Yes.
And that's why our course was so important in there, because between art and architecture, like somewhere in the boundary, that we tried to do a kind of really experimental thing in a way, not to catch students. You do like this, like kind of written programmatic like project.
Yes.
And as you tell yesterday, how the talk will go, like a river.
Yeah.
You said very nicely. Yes, it goes like a river. Have you forgot many things to tell? This is the life. And like in a studio, we have to do like that, not kind of stereotypical program, time and notes and titles and targets and fit out target. Like go to look at Hagia Sophia, take the carpet away, get the permission from Hoca or whoever covered it and look at it. Unbelievable cracks, unbelievable mistakes, unbelievable things there. a manifesto of perfectionism in a way, as I told in the beginning. Like, what is all these parameters, all these standards, and so on? I can say like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can say.
But I was saying one thing about that also, that the aesthetics. The thing I was thinking that if you divided a word, there's est, which is in Latin to be, and ethics. It is something to be ethical. It is something which is beautiful, and aesthetic is to be ethical. It is something to be amongst the people, amongst the animals, amongst the nature, to be ethical, to do things which you can bear yourself and you can share with other people. It is something, as I said, giving gift, sharing the beingness, something like which comes somehow easy, but we can still see beauty about that kind of, as I said, arte povera, poor art, that kind of things, and even see it more clearly. Seeing it is not like. It opens the eyes. It's not like you are not only fancying it and looking it, but it opens it looks back to you in a way. It is something conversation piece, as teaching or something. It is like that's the thing also.
I think this aesthetic that you underlined is very important. Because the aesthetic in architecture, for example, in art, you go a little bit further about that, but still in there, the aesthetic, the meaning of aesthetic, like polishedness, like in architecture, we are in trouble for that, because every building looks like facelifting, like the real guy who faced like polished, like it goes different. It will go different direction for years, maybe for already is on its way. Not to making the polished, sterilized, facelifted buildings or pieces. Like in art also. You are lucky for that, because like Karina is doing the clothes, and still she's looking to aesthetic, but it's very hard of the like using the old materials and like you use yourself. But aesthetic is another thing. What is aesthetic? You know what? How you will really, because when you say like that, I know where the things goes, like the golden sections, perfectionist thing, and all of them comes.
That's in a way. In art, it is important that it's leaking. It's leaking. Not. It is somewhere. It is not completed.
Leaking.
It is something which is there. There is some kind of mistake inside of that.
Exactly. It has to come to architecture like leaking, and not to be complete with the mistakes, and like to be yourself.
And also if you have made a very good installation, you can't get a picture about that because it doesn't tell anything about. But nowadays, architecture is for the camera. I'm getting the feeling when I'm looking up about the books, and there is the angles for the camera. They are planned in a plan, not for the people of the bodily experience, but the eye is it is for the eyes and. One eye, which is the camera lens.
All right. Hey, we are quite now. We ask two questions to each other. Maybe you can ask to us.
Yes. Now I'll turn to your audience. If you guys have any questions, you can use the raise hand button, and then I can unmute you. On the screen, you can see how you can find the button. Or maybe while we wait, I can turn to Mr. Yılmaz Değer if he's got anything to say.
I just want to Thank you both, Hüseyin and Seppo. It was very nice and very interesting talk. And it's first time that I saw Seppo's work, and it was very impressive, I must say.
There are lots of examples, but this was a kind of little summary.
Yes,
maybe
yeah.
After writing and translating to my book to Turkish, maybe you will read more about him.
Maybe you can show us other works in Istanbul live.
I hope so.
Yes.
I really hope so.
We plan it, and we will realize it soon.
Yeah.
In architecture, time and space are very basic, actually, and architecture depends on them. And in classical painting, time and space somehow frozen in a certain instant of time. But in your work, without moving, without saying anything, we deeply feel time and space in all their meanings and dimensions. It shows that you are really a master of time and space.
Thank you.
Really, it was very impressive. I thank you a lot. And,
thank you very much.
Yeah. You maybe you can remark that you entered the academy, and then there were some discussions there, and then you selected your path, not the bureaucracy and that kind of thing. Also, I felt when I was there, Seppo is really kind of rejecting all these kinds of hierarchy and bureaucratic things, and it goes. It's even in I saw in Istanbul that we were going to pay it anyway. This is
that's another story. But it is in a way we are like when the young people come into the academy, we are like a colleagues. We have the same questions all the time. The artist who has been doing it like in the Middle Ages or nowadays, there is the same questions we are. Even you are doing with camera or sculpture or painting, but the basic questions are always the same things. And in a way, the asking and sharing the knowledge about our own finds and so-called golden mistakes, and giving it further to the new people. It's the most important for me also. In some moment of your life, you have to giving back in a way what you have yourself get, and being as a teacher, it is one of the best way of get even in a way with your ancestors, and being in a line just the one time at the line of those artists who are struggling about very difficult questions, and even how to get money to their lives or something, or understanding or perceiving the world, and this kind of time when the social media and televisions and things are full of whatever in not so important things. It is you are covered with shit in a way, and you have to find open your eyes and find your way to from that kind of solitude. In a way, it is a being to solitude and reach to the other people again. In a way or other, making art or architecture or research. Or making food or something, but it has to be like You have to have your heart in it and your mind in it, and concentrate it.
Not in automatic.
Putting
it to automatic pilot and go on.
Yeah.
This what you said, that this golden mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
This is great.
That's art.
Very nice, because to make mistakes always needed corrections. I exaggerate maybe. Maybe they go. I mean, we go further than that. But the most important thing to show to students as a teacher from your life. For example, after 2015, after coming back from Korea, I began to draw my feelings.
Yes. Yeah.
Incredible amount of drawings. And then now we do some courses in Tampere. I was explaining, I'm showing them, this is my bad time, good time, this and that and that. They were coming after that. Thank you. You shared with your own space for us, like something like that. It's very important. Like you like you do. I try to do somehow.
So Samuel Beckett was saying very nice that fail again, fail better.
Yes,
that's the way of art.
Yes. Okay.
Never stop failing.
We just speak with each other. It will go on and on. Please stop us and ask.
Art and architecture dialogues. Never end.
Yes.
It looks like we don't have any questions from the audience. I'd like to thank you for joining.
Thank you very much.
From the north.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Forward to meet you in Istanbul as Yılmaz.
Yes, I hope so. It would be nice.
We're waiting for you.
Yes, I'm going to do some performances there.
Very nice to be with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the audience for coming or joining us. Okay, take care.
I say Gülsen wrote that thanks. It was deep, and I forgot touching something presentations. Very nice to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Yes, I go skiing.
Bye. Bye.